Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Minnesota Mike back with you for another video. This is another one in my vlog series that I do through the Memphis Songwriters Association in conjunction with the blogs that I write for them, talking about songwriting and what makes different songs work, what has made songs work throughout the course of a handful of years, whether those songs have been hits or not. This latest kick that I'm on is talking about the power of using the subjunctive tense within your songs. And the subjunctive, just as a reminder, expresses wishing, wanting, emotion, doubt, denial, impersonal expressions like it's important that you do this, negations, I don't think that this is the case, and then godly expressions, which is like good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. The big thing is that there's some sort of doubt that something is going to happen. And another way to express that outside of the wedding mnemonic is talking about future events. So these are things that you don't know if it's going to happen or not, and that's just the case throughout any subjunctive. But this is specific to a future event that may or may not happen. And then we're not talking about it in this blog, but the Pina Colada song is a great example of that because that uses in a positive, which is like I'm looking for someone who likes pina coladas, hates getting caught in the rain, etc. And you don't know if that person is out there or not. But the future event song that we're going to talk about here is When It Pleases You by Dan Wilson. This song is about someone who treats the narrator as an option and not a priority. He can't get her out of his head, but he asserts that she only calls when it pleases her. The use of the subjunctive tense in this song is especially haunting. He's sitting around waiting for her to call, and he knows that she'll call when it pleases her, but he doesn't ever know exactly when that will be. We hear this in the line, I think of you at the strangest times, you keep me in the back of your mind. The chorus admits some fault, saying I've been keeping it convenient for you to hold on loosely. And although it's not the subjunctive, one of my favorite lines in the song comes in the second verse. I call you when I want to hear my voice whisper in your voicemail's ear. It's such a poetic line, but it means so much. It doesn't sacrifice meaning for poetry. Melodically, the song's main instrument is on piano, so the chords discussed are the piano chords unless otherwise noted. It is written in A Lydian, and in the song, he uses the chords A minor, B flat, and C for the intro, with the C being played twice at the end of each line. That's a 1-2-3 pattern. While the verses use that same 1-2-3 pattern, A minor, B flat, and C for the first two lines, the third line uses the same progression as the first two, but it also throws in a D minor, which is the four chord, before returning to the A minor, B flat, and C pattern from the beginning. In between the first and second verse, there's an interlude that uses the four chord, which is the D minor, and kind of plays around with that four chord because then it goes to the D sus2, back to the D minor, before going to the two chord, which is the B, and the C, which is the three chord. That gets played twice. The chorus then uses the six chord, or the seven chord, I should say, which is the G, the B flat, which is the two chord, and then the F chord, which is the sixth chord. And that gets played twice. And then uh, the last two lines of the chorus are D minor, D sus2, D minor, B flat, F, B flat, and C, same as the interlude with the F thrown in there as well. And the instrumental interlude between the third verse and the last chorus uses a B flat and C, the two and the three chords, which get played twice on guitar. In addition to the piano, there are drums, bass, and guitar, as well as a saxophone. So structurally, this song uses a verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, solo, chorus format, unlike the prior two songs we've looked at, which were I Want You to Want Me and I Hope You Dance. This song's use of the subjunctive, like I said, comes in because we as the listeners and Dan as the singer do not know when it will please the other person to call him. As the song progresses, both lyrically and melodically, two things are becoming increasingly obvious: the desperation of the narrator and the lack of interest shown by his prospect. The tension of the solo, rather than adding new information with a bridge, adds to the suspense, as does the ending with the chorus. You don't know if he'll stop putting up with her, and you don't know if she'll finally call him and become his for good. So when it pleases you is embedded below. I talked about the Dan Wilson version and used he and she quite a bit throughout, but there's also a cover by Sarah Watkins that I've included, and it's a really, really good cover. So you can kind of hear what it's like when it's gender swapped a little bit, written or sung, I should say, from a woman's perspective as opposed to a man's. But both of them, like I said, are going to be down below in the comments section. So we're going to finish up our initial kick on the subjunctive tense next time by talking about If I Had $1 Million by the Bare Naked Ladies.